What's going on, everybody? My name's Joe. Welcome back to the weekly spirit part of the Total Justice Gaming Network. We're back after a bit of an absence. Again, apologies, life. But we have new content because the White Starter deck just dropped about half of its content. As always, we're going to take a look at the new cards that come out, compare them with the Japanese cards of their where they came from, see which ones I like the best, and just see how things are going. Other Battle Spirits news that came out recently, Battle Spirits Saga is already asking us what our favorite Gundam is, so we may be getting a Gundam collaboration sooner than later. Personally, I really want to see Witch from Mercury because that show has been outstanding. But let's dive into the new cards, shall we? We are going to be retreading some things. Because we already did look at Divine Moonsky Beast Phonotech Elk before in the last video. Still 7 cost, 3 reduction cost, 4K at level 1, 6K at level 2, 10K at level 3. It gives basically its level 1, 2, and 3 skill. Every time it attacks, it basically gives ultra heavy armor against all the opponent's effects, just like it cannot be touched. Level 2 and level 3, if we didn't lose any life during the opponent's turn. During the end step, we can place 1 core from their life to the trash. In Japan, we're an 8 cost with 4 reduction costs, 2 green, 9K at level 1, 13K at level 2, 16K at level 3, with the ability of Unleash 1 at level 1, 2, and 3, so 1 summoned. Return up to 3 spirits to the bottom deck in any order, putting 1 core from your Grandwalker Nexus to the spirit. Instead, return 3 opposing spirits to the top of the deck. Level 2 and level 3 gives ultra heavy armor against blue and white, purple and white. Level 2 and level 3, when it attacks, return opposing spirit to either top or bottom of the deck. So, power-wise, we're inconsistent, but again, Ultra Phonotech Elk is from set 44, so the power creep is definitely there. Our English Ultra Fauna Elk is from set 1, so that's why we have significantly lower stats. The first skill can't be really compared because we don't have a Grandwalker Nexus. In set 44, this creature is meant to be functioning in conjunction with, I want to say, Grandwalker Nexus Athena. We still retain our Ultra Heavy Armor, except in Japan it's only purple and white. In English it's for everything while attacking. Japan is, it just can't be affected, period. Level 2 and level 3, well, its second ability, we have the better one. They can bounce, we can drain life. I want to give this to the English one, only because the first skill is very uncomparable because we can't do anything about it. And the second effect, it's only at level 2, only at level 3, and only protects us against purple and white. English lets us protect against everything while we're attacking, so it doesn't matter on color. Moving on over, we have Heaven Piercing Castle, or the Tower Castle Soaring to the Heaven. In English, we're level 4 with a 2 reduction cost. This is a Nexus, so no battle power. At level 1, level 2, during your opponent's turn, when your opponent draws outside the draw step, we can pay the Soul Core, draw a card. Or during our attack step, when a spirit when the spirit blocks effect attacks, we can place up to 2 cores from your trash onto it. So core acceleration. In Japan, we're level 3. We're 3 casting costs, 2 reduction costs. With the first ability being level 1 and level 2, during the opposing attack step, when your spirit with no printed ability blocks, put a core from the void onto it. And then at level 2, during the opposing attack step, when an opposing spirit attacks, refresh every spirit with no printed effects you control. So in English, we get draw, and we get core acceleration. In Japan, we get core acceleration and mass refresh so long as we're vanilla. We do have a reduced casting cost in Japanese, but I gotta give it to the English for the diversity because we can continue to draw so long as we can pay the soul core. And it just sitting there and saying, hey, get 2 cores from your trash. Put it on, do the thing. So anytime, and we'll have plenty of cores in the trash because we're going to be paying a lot. White is very expensive in a lot of ways. Moving on over, we have Dream Bomb. In English, for 5 casting cost, 2 reduction cost. Burst, when you lose a life, select one of your opponent's nexuses, return to the hand. Then you may pay this card's cost to activate its flash effect. Its flash effect that can be activated either during flash timing or the main step. Select one of your opponent's spirits, pop it back to hand. Japanese. A burst effect. After your life is decreased, refresh 3 spirits you control. If your life is also 2 or below, remove a core from your trash your life, then by paying the cost, do its flash effect. This only has flash timing. Return an ultimate to their hand. Gotta give it to the Japanese on this one. We get to pop 1 card and then return another card. In this one, we get to refresh 3 things, gain a life, then pop a card. Like, there's just no comparison. Their Dream Bomb is infinitely better than our Dream Bomb. Moving on over, we have some of the new stuff. We have Mobile Golem. In English, 4 casting cost, 3 reduction cost. Hits for 1 point of damage because it's got 1 white symbol. It is 4K at level 1, 7K at level 3. No abilities. Just a vanilla attacker that can be played at level 1, so this can be spam around mid-game. In Japan, 4 casting costs, 2 white, 1 blue. Level 1 and level 2 skill. When summoned, put a core from the void onto an artificial soldier you control other than the spirit. So core acceleration for other units. Level 1 and level 2, when the color and symbol of this character, the color and symbol of this character is also treated as blue. We don't have blue yet in the game, so that skill can't really compare. I don't know how many artificial soldiers we have coming out in the set. We are just mecha on this one. This is artificial soldier family. Kind of hard to compare because he's for a multicolor deck. And ours is just flat generic. We do have higher stats on our end for a change, which is very unusual for English to have the higher stats than Japanese. But that's because we have no skills with this unit. So we'll give it to this dude because he can become a 7K blocker with probably some additional stuff depending on what our Nexus is and other units do. We can beat this guy to be a pretty substantial blocker. So we'll give it to English Mobile Golem. Buffalong Bill. Okay, Buffalong Bill. Heck of a thing, word jumble. So 6 casting costs, 2 reduction costs. He's a giant beast. 4K at level 1, 5K at level 2, 8K at level 3. Hits for 1 point of damage because he's only got 1 white symbol. English ability, level 1, level 2, level 3. When he blocks, select up to one of your opponent's 5 cost or less units, pop it back to their hand. At level 3, during your attack step, all your spirits when the spirit block effects, if they have them, they can trigger them while attacking. Fantastic. So look at the Japanese. 7 cost, 3 white reduction. So roughly evens out to 4. 5K at level 1, 6K at level 2, 10K at level 3. Hits for 2, because he's a big dude. So hits for 2 damage, because he has 2 white symbols. In Japanese, at level 1, 2, and 3 during the opposing attack step, when any opposing 6 cost or more spirit attacks, it's got to attack him. So it's got taunt. At level 2 and level 3, when blocking an opposing 6 cost or more spirit, he gains 10K. So he's a 20K, a 16K, 15K. These are both really good cards separately. I want to say the Japanese is slightly better than the English because it's got taunt forcing things to die off rather than the English where it only hits 5 or less and pops them back in the hand. In this one, it's making 6 or more, which are going to be your X rares or your master rares or some of your heavier costed rares to swing into him. The bottom ability is where the English one is better because if he just sits there, his ability triggers and lets everybody do their when the spirit block effects while attacking happens. Then you can play some refresh effects and refresh everybody and get more blockers. In Japan, he gains 10k, which can shut out a lot of attackers a lot of the time. They kind of tie. And I think this is probably one of the few times I'll give this a tie. Grey Garmer. In English, 4 difficulty, 2 reduction cost. Level 1, 2, and 3, he has armor against red and white. The spirit cannot be selected by the effects of the opponent's spirits, nexuses, or magic of those specified colors. And then level 2 and level 3, when he blocks, he gets 10k. So if we combine it with the buffa, he gets 3k even while attacking, just like I said earlier. Level 1, he's a 2k. At level 3, at level 2, he's a 3k. And level 3, he's a 5k. Let's look at what he does in Japanese. Same casting cost, same reduction cost. Hits for the same, only 1 white symbol. Level 1, he's a 3k. Level 2, he's a 4k. Level 3, he's a 6k. At level 1, 2, and 3, during either attack step, when white ultimates you control are destroyed by a battle power comparison, return 1 destroy ultimate to your hand, refresh the spirit. And then level 3, Flash. Either attack step by sending all cores from the spirit to your trash, refresh a Grand Wooden named ultimate. They're very hard to compare because we aren't dealing with ultimates yet. I don't know if we're going to get a Grand Wooden in the set, so since it's also an ultimate, I don't think it's a fair comparison between the two for a change. So we will just naturally give it to the English one, just because we get armor and we get battle power gain. Mechatrice. In English, he is a 4 cost with 1 reduction. Hits for 1 life because he only got 1 white symbol. At level 1, he's a 2k. At level 4, he is at level 2, he's a 4k. So at level 1 and level 2, when summoned, we can view the top 2 cards of the deck. We can put any number of them on the bottom, return any of the remaining to the top. So kind of scry, kind of lets you look at your library, see what you need, see what you don't need. Level 2, when he blocks, select one of your opponent's spirits with a cost of 2 less, pop back to the hand. Now in Japanese, he is 4 difficulty, 3 reduction, hits for 1 because of 1 white symbol. Level 1, he's a 4k. At level 7, he's a 7, at level 2, he's a 7k. I'm going to keep doing that. Level 1 and 2 has ultra armor against white, purple, and blue. He's unaffected by effects of spirits, ultimate, nexuses, and magic. At level 2, at the end of your attack step, refresh all of your Machine Beast family spirits and ultimates. When automatically goes to Japanese. Like, if he had the bottom level 2 Japanese ability, our starter deck would be nuts. We'd be able to block for days. Like, there's just no comparison between the two. We have a higher reduction cost in Japanese. We have the ability to refresh the whole board potentially in Japanese. In English, we got light scry and the ability to pop a unit on block. Sorry guys, Japanese wins on this one. We got a spell. We got Protection Aura, 4 difficulty, 2 casting cost, or 2 reduction costs. Excuse me. This can be played during the main phase or the flash, or anytime at flash timing. If it's your opponent's turn, all your battle spirits gain plus 3k battle power during this turn. Not bad. Protect Aura in Japan is 3 cost with 1 reduction, so they roughly even out to 2. Can only be played during flash timing, and during this turn, all battle spirits blocking get plus 2k, and all your blocking brave spirits get plus 3k. We don't have braves yet, so that's very hard to compare, so I want to give it to English because while we do cost 1 more, we can play this during the main phase or during flash timing. So, not too bad. So this was the one I couldn't find in Japanese. I looked everywhere for Mecha Wing Duck this morning, and all I can find is Surazawan Duck. So we will do a light comparison. Again, these are probably not the same cards, or this is just updated artwork on Mecha Wing Duck's end. Mecha Wing Duck is 1 with 1 reduction cost, meaning it's going to be free early game. Level 1 and level 2. During your opponent's attack steps, when one of your opponent's spirits is returned to their hand, place a card from the void onto this spirit. So with our abilities, we're just going to be racking up cores onto this dude over and over and over again, as long as we're doing what we need to be doing in white. At level 1, he's a 1k. At level 2, he's a 2k. So the idea with this dude is playing for free, rack up cores, get him killed, let all those cores go to trash, and then during refresh step, sink all those cores you got from this dude into your core bank. Like, that's the plan with this dude. You get multiples of him out, you are just banking cores and getting mass core acceleration. He is so good. In Japan, again, I'm unsure if this is the same card, and you guys in the comments can link me to where Japanese Mecha Wing Duck is. I'll be happy to do a different video on the next set, or next time we talk about stuff. 3 difficulty, 2 costs, 2 reduction, hits for 1. At level 1 and level 2, when destroyed, return an imposing spirit hand. No, it's automatically the English card. Like, he is so unbelievably good for core acceleration and being able to be free almost immediately in early game. Moving on over, we are looking at Brontek. Brontek is a 5 difficulty, 2 reduction. Hits for 1 because he has 1 white symbol. Pardon me. Level 1, he's a 5k. At level 2, he's an 8k. Japanese, he's called Brontaro. 5 difficulty, 3 reduction cost. Hits for 1. Has the abilities of level 1 and level 2. When this blocks, if you have a burst set, exhaust an imposing spirit. In level 2, at the start of the opposing character's turn, refresh a machine spirit beast you control. So this is much earlier, like Mobile Golem. We have higher power, except Brontaro has much better abilities than Mobile Golem did. Like, we do have bursts in this game, so when we block, we get to screw an opponent up by exhausting a non-attacking spirit. That screws up their math, that screws up their attack sequence, or just their turn in general. Also, at the start of their attack step, at the start of their opposing start step, we get to refresh a machine beast spirit we control, meaning we gain 1 more blocker, which again screws with their math. Gotta give it to Brontaro. Yeah, he has 1 more reduction too. Meaning as opposed to a 3, he's only a 2 cost character, which will be played really easily mid-game. Even early game possibly, depending on what you put out. Those ducks are free as soon as you play the first duck, so play two ducks, play him for 1, like 1 or 2, and then get stuff like, yeah, Brontaro beats out Brontek handily. Moving on over, we have a rare in this set, which is an X-rare in another set. So we have Mecha Beast Fortress Namingard. 8 difficulty, 4 reduction cost. 7K is level 1, he's a 7K, level 2, he's a 10K. Just has a flat out ability of static ability of when destroyed. Draw 3 cards, put 3 cards from the void to your reserve. Level 2 ability, perform a refresh step after your attack step. This effect may only be played once per turn. That's fine. Only hits for one symbol. In Japan, 8K still. -1 reduction cost, only 3 reduction costs, so he can get to a 5. Hits for 2 symbols. He is a 7K at level 1, 12K at level 4, level 2. In Japan, he has almost the exact same thing. Level 1 and level 2, once destroyed, draw 3, get 3 core from the void to your reserve. Pretty much the same thing. The only difference is ours is a static effect. Theirs is technically a static effect because you'll always be at level 1 or level 2. Ours is just generically static. Level 2. After your attack set ends, you can either repeat the draw step, your refresh step, or your main step. This can only be used once per turn. That's just nuts. But that's the reason why Japan, he's an X-Rare. He's your boss monster. Hits for 2. Comes in at 5. If he gets destroyed, draw 3. You just plus basically 6 kind of in total of resources. You get 3 cards and 3 cores, so around +4, +6, give or take. Depending on how much you actually waste that turn. And then his level 2 ability in Japan lets you either get another draw step, so draw 4. Gets you a refresh step, gets you all your cores from the trash back, and lets you refresh all your attackers set up for your blocking turn. Or lets you probably get another main step and lets you play more creatures past it. Gotta give it Japan. There's a reason why he's an X-Rare. I like what they do with the English one. They're very comparable. But the extra ability to take off 2 life and the ability to choose between a draw, a refresh, or a main step just blows out the other one. Not even comparing power. So we gotta give it to Japan. Finally, I think this is the last slide. We got Fortress Dropless Numon City. This is a Nexus. Level 1 and level 2. During your main step, when you summon a Machine Beast card that is 6 or more, count the symbol on this Nexus as 3 white symbols. So this means this counts for 3 reduction cost while it's at level 1 or level 2. Level 2 ability also grants all your spirits plus 1,000 battle power. That's important right now, will become less so as sets go on. In Japan, when you play this Nexus, you can play any white spirit from your hand without paying the cost. However, you don't get one summon effects. That's fine. Level 2. During the opposing cycle, whether there are 2 or more colors, spirits, or Nexus on the opposing field, for each color, increase the cost of all magic cards in the opposing hand by +1. This is very hard to do because this lets us get big beats out very quickly. If we can get this Nexus out as soon as possible, we can start tossing out elephants and elks and other things as quickly as possible. So that beats out the Japanese skill of when you play something else for free. This one, just when it's played, it sits there and gives us 3 reduction, gives us at least 3 symbols to help with reduction costs right off the bat. So we can go right into Nomengard, or we can go right into Elk, or we can go right into what other high cost Machine Beast is. This is, I guess this would be the equivalent of Digimon's Megazoo deck, is what this is letting us do. This is just letting us spam super big beats really quickly. The second ability is nice, but the Japanese one blows it out of the water. So we'll say it's a tie. Guys, that's it for this half of the starter deck. Tune in either tomorrow or Saturday. We'll cover the rest of the starter deck. I hope you guys had fun with this. I always like making the content, so please remember to hit like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that fun stuff. Anytime there's new white cards, I will be here. I will track down and analyze with the Japanese cards, do compare, contrast, see where the cards came from, see where we are now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.